What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. Um, late. This is a late one that I'm going to be posting tonight, but I want to make sure that I obviously got it up. Lakers Suns final preseason game, so that is a wrap. Was down in Palm Springs. Drove from LA to Palm Springs. From Palm Springs down to San Diego. So this is the office. This is the little office studio that I got down here in SD. So I'm using that tonight. But yeah, I'm basically basically was down at the game and came here to record. And I'm going to kind of break down not just the game, but just kind of how the Lakers did all preseason. By the way, tonight was ugly. Tonight was ugly. Gotta be honest, kind of a little underwhelming of a preseason. To be real with you, I thought it was an underwhelming preseason. I mean, listen, there's some things I take away that were all good, and then also at the same time, I think there was part of it was like, let's get the regular season started, and hopefully, this Lakers team that we're excited to watch is a team that we get starting on Tuesday, moving forward. So, just to give everybody a quick idea, we'll break down the box score. Um, LeBron versus KD. It's been a while since those two have played against each other. So we had the Giannis versus AD, and then in this one it was LeBron versus KD. Were the two players that I was looking forward to watching. Take a look at the Lakers starters. If this is it, if that's solidified, and what we think about the starters so far. Bench players today, not good. I'll spend a little time on that, and if we got any concerns or anything like that, questions and comments as I always do. I got a couple from the last YouTube that I did that I thought were interesting. Somebody trying to make a case. Why not play Jackson Hayes over Christian Wood? One guy's more athletic, so forth and so forth. And then just the overall thoughts on preseason basketball. I'm going to spend some time on that as well. And then before you know it, we are going to be talking about Lakers and the Nuggets coming up this upcoming Tuesday. A week from today, Lakers actually play the Phoenix Suns. That'll be their home opener. So that will be coming up in another, obviously in another week or so. Okay, let's start off with the box score like I always do. Want to share the screen here. Let's see where this bad boy's at. Lakers, Suns. Okay, let's take a look here. Check one thing here. Am I still on there? Do I still exist? I do still exist. That's the wrong one. Stop sharing that one. Let me get the box score first. I want to go through the team box score before I actually go through individual players. So let's do that and we'll get started. Okay. So, from a team perspective, let me set it up this way because I was personally excited about this matchup because I thought we're going to get an opportunity, obviously, to see the Lakers, to see a little bit more of the Lakers than we're accustomed to. What I'm referring to there is we're going to finally see three quarters. We're going to finally see a squad where we can look at and say, okay, well, what does this team look like when it's probably the starting five that they're going to have? They've gone. LeBron only played half the preseason games this year, so I thought we were going to see a good amount of the Lakers starters, and we got to see a decent amount of them. But from a team perspective, let me just walk through the box score real quick. I always like to do that to get things started. Okay, first thing, Lakers shot 46% from the field, 3-point shooting about 38%. I'll get back into that in a little bit. Free throw shooting, good. I hate when the Lakers are in the low 70s, high 60s, something like that. Every time it comes to free throw shooting, that one doesn't make sense to me. But they did, luckily, the Suns weren't all that much better. Shot 73% from the 3-point line. Rebounding, we got demolished on the glass, 50-36, and 15 offensive rebounds to just 6 for the Lakers. Turnovers, awful stat for the Lakers as well. 22 turnovers for the Lakers. You're just not going to win too many ball games with that. Beasts on defense with 13 blocks, 6 of those coming from Anthony Davis, by the way. And then the points off the turnovers, 30 points the Lakers gave up off their 22 turnovers. You're not going to win too many games like that. And the biggest lead for the Phoenix Suns is what point was actually got all the way up to 25. They end up winning the game by 23. So that tells most of the story right there. Um, okay, so I want to. There's a couple things that stand out to me as far as that the team box score. So a couple things that I want to make sure once the season starts that the Lakers do a better job of protecting the ball, just less turnovers. That's all. Always asking for too much. Just be more mindful from that perspective. Rebounding, you're not going to win many games when you're out rebounded by 9 rebounds. So the Lakers certainly can't let that happen. Those are probably the two key stats I take away. Hit your free throws as well. Little things like that could be the difference of winning games, losing games, whatever the case is. So certainly I think that's incredibly important. Hopefully the Lakers don't get caught into some kind of trend where that's sloppy basketball that they're not paying attention. I know it's just preseason, but in preseason, you want to start as best as you can. Start creating habits. And those habits hopefully are able to kind of take you to the next level. And that's kind of the idea, the concept, and the hope. And we'll see if that eventually happens for the Lakers as we get to the regular season. Um, okay, as far as the Laker individual players, I want to walk through that here real quick. Um, See that one real quick. Okay. Got it right here. Got a lot of ads on this page right now. A lot of ads on this page. Trying to get through all the ads here. Okay. I'm basically on the wrong page. Okay, so I'm going to go through the Lakers side of this real quick, and then once I go through the Lakers, I'll point out a couple things from the Phoenix Suns. But for the Lakers, the starters, Anthony Davis, 15 and 6 blocks. I'm going to get back to AD in just a second. LeBron had 19. I'll get back to LeBron in a second. Austin Reeves looked good. Basically, Austin Reeves in the preseason games that he played, I think he shot something like 60% from the field, averaged 16 points for the Lakers. So I think he was phenomenal in the games that he played. But overall for Austin Reeves tonight, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 block shots, hit 3 threes, 24 minutes of play. You really, truly can't ask for anything more. D'Lo struggled tonight. When I say struggled, as in just his shooting percentage, just couldn't get a three to drop. Was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. Had 8 points, had 6 assists. Love the 6 assists, and I love the 2 steals. So anybody will take that. I'll come back to Braun in just a second. Torian Prince, it's kind of weird stat here. Only had 3 points. Only took 2 shots. So it's not like, and I know that I think really, really feel like he's going to eventually be the starter for the Lakers. Lakers are going to reevaluate Jared Vanderbilt coming up tomorrow. And once they reevaluate him, I think there's a good shot that, whether he's ready to go or he's not for the series or for the opener against Denver, he hasn't played any preseason. He's played in one. So I'm sure they're going to be cautious on how they use him when they bring him back. But Torian Prince only took 2 shots. He was plus 15 in the plus minus. He had the best plus minus of anybody on the Lakers. So that's kind of interesting there. He played 17 minutes. And then Anthony Davis, he had 15 points, but forget about the 5 of 10. Forget about the 15 points. I really don't care about any of that. He had 6 block shots in 23 minutes. I mean, that is truly dominating basketball. Like there's no other way for me to put it. If you have 16 freaking points in a game, or I'm sorry, if you have that many blocks in a game, that truly is dominating basketball, and that is so freaking impressive to see that he has that type of performance. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say, but that's incredible. It really is just incredible to see him have that much success, to dominate that much on the defensive side. I don't care what the man does. If you want to complain about Anthony Davis for anything that he does, one thing that you should not complain about is what he does on the defensive side. So 6 blocks for Anthony Davis. That was fun to watch. I think this is going to be the 5 starters for the Lakers. I really do. And, my overall thoughts on this starting lineup, I like it. I'm okay with it. I think Jared Vanderbilt is still going to make a case when he comes back to be a starter. Let's not forget when the Lakers traded for Jared Vanderbilt as part of some of the trades that they made before the trade deadline last year. He was a key piece in the regular season. He was a key piece for part of the postseason. Certainly against Memphis, I thought he had definitely an impact against the Golden State Warriors, guarding some of these guards. But ultimately, I think they're going to start the year with Torian Prince, but I don't know if that's how it's going to go the entire time. It could very well just be a certain amount of time, and then eventually you're going to see Jared Vanderbilt get in the mix at some point. But we'll see. He's got to be healthy, and right now this is the five that the Lakers have, and it's a good five. It's a strong five. I like the idea of Torian Prince. I like the starting five. But it's so tough to gauge anything until you start playing real competition. And luckily preseason's over and we could start, facing some real competition. Only other thing that I wanted to point out, I thought the LeBron versus KD tonight was interesting. The guys haven't played, I think, what was it, 5 years or something like that? They haven't played each other in the regular season just because of injuries or whatever the case is. LeBron, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He looks like he's ready to go. Hit, I think, 3 threes tonight, shot 50% from the field in 22 minutes. And then KD on the other side is like, cool, I'll give you 21, 4 rebounds, 8 of 14 from the field in just 17 minutes of play. So KD was KD. Suns did not have Devin Booker, and did not have Bradley Beal. So they got some real pieces that were not a part of the mix that are going to eventually be part of the mix. So just keep that one in mind as well. Bench players for the Lakers. So this is some of the other guys after the Lakers, kind of started resting some of their players. Bench players were bad tonight. Awful. Rui had just 3 points. He was 1 of 5 from the field and was minus 30 in the plus minus. Yeah, that was bad. Christian Wood, 1 of 4 from the field, had 6 rebounds, 2 points, minus 35 in the plus minus. I didn't even know that was possible. So both of those guys, really the entire bench. I mean, Cam Reddish was a minus 28. Jackson Hayes had a couple nice highlight plays, but he was a minus 18. Max Christie had 10 points, but he was minus 15. So that bench unit, especially in the third quarter, Lakers were outscored by 20, 35 to 15. They were outscored 35 to 27 in the fourth quarter. So really in that, they were outscored by 27 points in the second half. So you could see just how bad it was. I think Lakers had, I want to say they had a 4-point lead at the half, if I'm right. I think a 4-point lead. And then, obviously that all went away in the third quarter, and Phoenix just dominated from there. So the bench was really bad tonight. I thought the starters were fine, but nothing special of a game. Lakers got off to a really hot start, and then before you know it, Phoenix made a run. And like I said, it's tough, really tough to gauge when we're sitting here doing these games, and the real competition is not there. Guys are not trying all that hard. You're going to eventually have players that are in the rotation, out of the rotation. So a little tough to gauge. Overall for the Lakers, give my overall thoughts on the preseason. It was okay. It was okay. 2-4 in the preseason. I think the things that I liked, I thought D'Angelo Russell has definitely a mindset of playing defense. Definitely understands that if he wants to really be a part of this Lakers rotation and in crunch time, he's got to start locking guys up. Nobody's asking him to be Gary Payton, but he's got to be respectable on defense. Let's see. Anthony Davis looks fresh. He looks ready. He looks healthy. It looks like he's going to be a beast. In the games that Austin Reeves played, I'm a big fan of. I think everybody is. And I think the Lakers clearly have a lot of depth. But overall in the preseason, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything crazy. I didn't think it was anything special. I think we're going to learn a lot more about this Lakers team over the next month or so and that's going to be the real gauge. It's not just going to be these preseason games. So if you guys have your overall thoughts on what you thought of Lakers basketball over the preseason, feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love to read about it and get your guys everybody else's opinion. But I thought it was okay. There were some individual things that I think stood out. I think the team is got enough um, players that are ready to go for the regular season. I think the experience is there. I think the star power is there. I think the depth is there. I think Darvin Ham going into a second season is great news. But I also find it difficult to kind of assess what this team is until we get started. So whether you guys agree, disagree, you guys can feel free to put it on the comments here. Um, so one of the questions, comments that came in a couple days ago that I want to read. Let's see what we got here. Eddie PO 6924 says, "Hey Alan, why not talk about Hayes over Wood when the rotation tightens up? I think Jackson Hayes has a more of a defensive upside. Plus, he's more athletic. I believe he brings a different dimension that the Lakers need to propel them to the next step. Christian Wood is the better scorer, sure, but we need someone to help AD to do the dirty work." Not a bad case. I think Christian Wood's going to get a pretty good amount of playing time. I really do. And I think part of the reason why they're going to use Christian Wood is because they want to use him when Anthony Davis is on the bench for a little bit and they could have more firepower and offense. That doesn't mean Jackson Hayes is not going to get opportunities like a JaVale McGee used to get, but they're such different type of players. I guess it's just what you need for that night. So maybe one night Jackson Hayes will get a little bit more attention, but I'm sure there's going to be Christian Wood. It's going to be a lot of opportunities for Christian Wood to get chances. Um, all right, there was one other comment that I want to read here. Somebody's saying now we know Christian Wood is not a starter. No, he's supposed to be coming off the bench. Okay, here's one from uh, Dung Nigan. How badly are we going to beat the Nuggets on opening night? It's gonna be a really tough game. You know what happens on opening night usually? Opening night is usually those. I think Anthony Davis said this in the postgame show. You get a chance to spoil the other team's celebration, but Denver, I think will be ready. I mean, I'm sure they're still excited and partying and get their championship rings and the banner comes up. And for the Lakers, there's a very bitter taste, but they got swept by the Nuggets last year. So there's a reason for that. Denver's a really good team. But I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I don't think it's a lock at all. I'm reading some of the other comments replying to that comment. It's going to be a close one. They'll be on a high, and the Lakers will look to spoil it. Another person says, I'm not worried about the Nuggets. I don't believe they'll be the team to beat this season. They did lose Jeff Green and they did lose Bruce Brown, and a lot of other teams seem to be catching up. So I'm not. I'm not. Uh, I don't completely disagree with that. I think there's 4 or 5 teams that got a legitimate shot. A couple of other people responding. Laker fans weren't worried about them last season, and look how that turned out. So it's going to be a tough game. I don't think there's any sugarcoating that. I think that's going to be a really tough game against the Denver Nuggets coming up on Tuesday. So I'm going to do a kind of a special preview show. There's a couple other topics that I want to get into as well before the season starts on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. But I think overall, for me, just overall thoughts on the preseason, I thought it was I didn't think it was anything crazy. Maybe my expectations were a little bit higher. I thought there were certain moments and certain individuals that played solid basketball, but overall, I thought it was okay. I'm ready for the regular season to start. I'm ready to see what this Lakers team is. And 4 out of the first 5 games are against playoff teams. At Denver, home against the Suns, at Sacramento, home against the Magic, home against the Clippers. So you're going to have some real tests right out the gate. It's going to be fun to watch. So Laker fans, your comments below, anything that you want to put on there, please feel free to do so. And also, please subscribe to the channel. I'll get back with you guys soon. Thank you all for being a part of the show. We are done with preseason basketball. Lakers go 2-4, and now we got real basketball coming up here in the next couple of days. So we will talk to you guys soon. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Hope you guys enjoy your Friday. Thanks, Laker fans.